Right, so this is get home bag version, probably about 3.0 now. So slight alterations, but it's more about making sure it's in a complete ready state and everything in it is not going to have slight issues. So first off, as shown in the last video, I don't think this was here actually. Just one of these snood or sort of things to go around your neck. They make you absolutely lovely warm. The water now I've shrink wrapped, just put cling film around it, so that if it does leak, the odds of it leaking everywhere is going to be a lot more minor, unless it is absolutely compressed and destroyed, in which case not much is really going to help it anyway. Within the bags are generally the same. I've got a few more coffees now actually. That's more by accident than anything. Biggest change is probably the belt, and this is quite a large change in what I've done with this. So within here it's generally the same, so that's fine. Within here now I've thrown my first aid kit. It's also then just got some other bits and pieces in there as well. So head torch, paracord bracelet, just like an electronics zip tie sort of bag. It's not got a zip on it, but you know, the ones just for a map to go in. Cups stayed the same, but then what I've done weight wise is I've dropped a bit of weight. So I've taken out a few bits here. So I've taken out the like the two-man sort of emergency sort of shelter tent. I've taken out this little pouch which has just got one of the things with a fire starter, compass, thermometer and stuff on. And I've also taken out the tarp as well, because it does actually weigh a fair bit, that tarp. And the reason why is this. I'm going with this idea, and that is this is going to be ready to rock and roll in the bag, so I'll roll it, compress, pack it. So that is, unfortunately it's just a summer sleeping bag, but it's nice and tiny. An emergency foil sleeping blanket, sleeping bag over the top of it, so that obviously it traps the heat. It's going to trap the moisture as well, but for a one-off in an emergency, it doesn't matter. And then just a bivvy bag as well, which is one of those, an Amtrek one. It's literally like a tenner, so it's a very, very cheap one. So again, it's just literally going to trap all the moisture and it's barely breathable, but it's all going to get trapped in there anyway. And then the idea is to get the emergency shelter and throw that over the top, so I'm going to give that a quick go now. Right, so here's my real world test, or near enough anyway. It's not real world because I'm not actually outside. I'm not going to test sleeping in a summer sleeping bag in the winter. You know, that it would be absolute dire emergency situation. And as you can see, first off, instantly the bag is just literally, I don't think that stands out too much. Wouldn't at night time. Wouldn't too much in the daytime. Just think if someone's literally getting out of somewhere, they've just thrown some hiking stuff together. There's enough people out there like that. So first off, the chance it sits in the car like that anyway. So first off, ripping the top bit off. Instantly you've got the belt on top. The belt's connected onto the top just by a couple of the strap bits that come with it, so you can just unrelease them. So just literally keep pulling them open. 1 and 2 and 2, and the belt's off. So that's one belt now all ready to go straight on you. You don't even need to tie it through. Things that I've done with the belt is make sure, I hope I've made sure, so in this way you need to realise, yep, there you go. So the most heaviest side, which is this pouch, is nearest the side where I can actually, is it? No, I'm lying. It's the wrong side at the moment. Should have been on the right side, so I'll have to amend that. But if you put the heaviest side near where you can stick it through a belt buckle or two, it's going to take the weight on the belt buckle, so rather than on your hips instead. So you don't need to then stick it through every single one. And there you go. Right, if I need to run away, it's literally all ready to go and run away with, because it's literally attached to the top of the bag, so I can just grab the bag and run. If it's that dire anyway, you're probably not going to get to the car to get the bag anyway. In which case, just have to deal with the smaller bag I've then always got on me. So belt on, and then there you go. That's literally got sort of all your navigation, water, compasses, for your sleeping bag, fire, etc., etc., torches, multi-tool, knives, small teeny tiny pocket knives. It should be UK legal, so that's fine. Obviously if you get sort of stopped, you're going to have to explain that you're a nutter, although if it's all kicking off, I don't think you're really going to be stopped anyway. Right, so going into the bag, first off, first thing in there is the shelter. So I can then pop the shelter up over me if it's raining, and then I can hunker down in it, so we'll get onto that. Right, I'm in my shelter. It's all orange. It's a 2-man shelter, this one. I can sit my rucksack on the... That helps. I can sit my rucksack on the side, on the one side of the shelter, where you can effectively sit. So you've got these black areas on it, so you can sit on them and then hunker down. So what I can now do is get close to the ground. I've got my rucksack on it. I've got my little windows, got my tiny air holes, etc. I can now kneel down partly on the system, on the emergency sleeping bag, shelter. I can sort myself out so I'm fully underneath it. I can say right now I'm rather warm already. I can now start sorting through my bag, so I can get my bivvy bag out. So I can do one thing after the next, get my bivvy bag out, which is all now pre-rolled, and then I can just lift up one side and roll it out into the sunset. Once it's rolled out, I've got lots of space in here, so I can then sort out lying down and sleeping, and I've got this over my head. I can stick my bag right next to where my head is, so it will give me some ventilation, and there you go, I've got a shelter over my head, and I'm in a bivvy bag system. Granted, my legs are out into the air, but that doesn't matter. My shelter's held down by my rucksack as well, and there you go, so no need for any tent at all. I guess I could take a trekking pole and that would hold this upright. That might be quite a nice little option to take, but again it's more weight and you're going to look more like a nut if you're trying to be incognito with the bag, so probably not the best idea. But I can just lie in this now, and there you go. I can then, when I'm pulling things out, I can lift up one side, so I can get the little rocket, not the rocket stove, the little Esbit sort of style stove on, and I can get boiling some water and stuff while being fully sheltered from the element. And as you can see, I can pull this right underneath it as needs be, so I'm literally fully off the ground now, and I can just lie in this, and there we go. If I really needed to, I can completely just sit in here now, completely sheltered, and that is lovely. I've got my little windows. Oh wow, they're quite good little windows actually. They look so... I've got to say, actually, the window is better for a video camera than it is actually looking out through it. So that's a bit worrying. That's my eyes again. So there we go. So that is my near real life test, and it's hopefully the closest I'll ever need to get to it. Right, all completely back together now. Bit of a pain getting in. Just one other thing as well, and that is with the sleeping bag system, if it is raining and you get wet, obviously got some trash bags in there, bin bags, whatever, contractor bags as they're called in America. There you go, so you can then throw the wet bivvy system into it, so at least you don't get everything else wet. I guess you could turn it inside out, but from perspiration it's probably going to be moist as well anyway, so all the pain. But I do have the sleeping bag and also the bivvy bag within there, so I could stick them in there as well actually. So the reason why I've actually sort of gone through and sort of gone to a 3.0, I'm sure like most, everyone's always constantly checking their kits. My main reason was sort of recently I went wild camping, and the sheer weight of what I was carrying made me think, do I actually need all of this stuff? And realistically, you don't. And with a lot of it, you can get away with so much less. So this ain't a too bad a weight now at all. There's one thing I've just purchased which I'm hoping will make this completely redundant, and that is literally a folding bicycle for the car. So like a 30-mile journey now, I think if you're doing 6 miles an hour even, which is barely a speed, is 5 hours, and that's not really going to be too bad going. You might stop just to literally nibble on some of the sea life biscuits, but I could literally just pull some of those out. Water, might stop just to get some water out, that sort of thing. Apart from that, hopefully then it will never be needed. But if absolute worst case scenario is you can't get out of the office and you're stuck there for quite a while, at least I've got everything on me still, and it's all completely ready, set up to go. And weight wise, I'm not quite sure what this is. It's not too bad that can't just lift it one-armed, so it's not majorly bad at all. It's not the best in the world, but it will definitely do. So yeah, please leave any comments, because I'd love to sort of know any suggestions I can do to enhance this.